For us, what would the consequence be for a U.S. Navy E-6 petty officer if they handled classified information as loosely as the Secretary of State did? And is there any conceivable possibility, should they avoid court-martial, that they would have maintained their security clearance?
Well, again, I don't want to compare the two. The FBI already spoke to former Secretary Clinton's email practices. That's all on the record, and they didn't feel that there was a need to take that forward in a legal way. And I think I'm going to let them speak for that. But to your other question, I think what you're getting at is the seriousness with which any federal agency considers classification. And as a naval officer, I certainly were put under strict guidelines on that and observe them. And of course, we expect that of everybody here at the State Department, too. Everybody's trained on how to handle classified information. There's rigorous retraining in place, and it's something we're always mindful of.
And that involves not having your own server, right?
Well, again, I think this has been talked about before.
No,
because
it really
she's admitted
hasn't.
that
it just makes no sense. It really makes no sense.
So, Admiral, what you're saying is there would be no consequences for a U.S. Navy E-6 petty officer who handled classified information descriptively like the FBI director handled. And I'm not talking about the decision to prosecute. It's an apples and oranges thing. I'm talking about what the FBI director said about the handling of classified information. I'm just curious, from a standard perspective, that would a Navy E-6 mid-level enlisted person in the Navy, would there be any consequences for handling classified information like that, as a former United States Navy admiral, who I think could illuminate this for our viewers?
Well, I'm sorry I didn't answer the question quite the way I should have the first time. The short answer is, of course, yes. I mean, in the Navy and all the military services, the improper handling of classified information is something we take very seriously, and people are held to account for that. And that's the same here at the State Department. People are still held to account for the proper handling of classified information. We take this very seriously. I'm not going to get into what the FBI determined or didn't determine in her case, but yes, whether it's, you said E6, first-class petty officer, whether it's a chief petty officer, whether it's a lieutenant, whether it's an admiral like I was, if you mishandle classified information and it comes to light, you will be held to account, as you should be.